There is a saying, you can find a Bejan anywhere. Are you a Bejan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bejan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new tunes and some old sweet ones too, jamming on the Soca Avenue. Saturdays, join AON Skills and the crew down on Soca Avenue, all new on CBC TV8. Feeling the festival.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bejan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bejan experience. My show is called Bejan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bejan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Welcome to the Cropover Sweet Spot, your go-to show for all things Cropover 2024. We'll dive into the big issues of the day with exclusive interviews with the entertainers, the experts, the movers and shakers of the festival, plus you, the audience. Get to join the conversation and share your views. Tune in to CBC TV8 every Friday night for the ultimate Cropover experience with yours truly, the Admiral. We're big on everything Cropover 2024. The Cropover Sweet Spot, brought to you with the kind compliments of Axel Finance.
Tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. to see me, Chrissy D, on Fashion Flair on CBC TV8. I'll be bringing you the latest fashion trends, fashion ends, and everything in between. Get ready to transform your style, get inspired, and elevate your fashion game with the ultimate guide to looking fabulous. Join me, Chrissy D, this Friday on CBC TV8 at 6 p.m. for an exciting episode of Fashion Flair.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308, and don't miss a single six, wicket, or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday. While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bejan anywhere. Are you a Bejan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bejan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new tunes and some old sweet ones too, jamming on the Soca Avenue. Saturdays, join AON Skills and the crew down on Soca Avenue, all new on CBC TV8. Feeling the festival.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bejan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bejan experience. My show is called Bejan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bejan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Welcome to the Cropover Sweet Spot, your go-to show for all things Cropover 2024. We'll dive into the big issues of the day with exclusive interviews with the entertainers, the experts, the movers and shakers of the festival, plus you, the audience. Get to join the conversation and share your views. Tune in to CBC TV8 every Friday night for the ultimate Cropover experience with yours truly, the Admiral. We're big on everything Cropover 2024. The Cropover Sweet Spot, brought to you with the kind compliments of Axel Finance.
Tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. to see me, Chrissy D, on Fashion Flair on CBC TV8. I'll be bringing you the latest fashion trends, fashion ends, and everything in between. Get ready to transform your style, get inspired, and elevate your fashion game with the ultimate guide to looking fabulous. Join me, Chrissy D, this Friday on CBC TV8 at 6 p.m. for an exciting episode of Fashion Flair.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308, and don't miss a single six, wicket, or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game of dominoes. and singing karaoke.
I just love Crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bejan anywhere. Are you a Bejan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bejan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
Good morning to you on this Friday, June 21st. Welcome to another Morning Barbados presentation. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock today. So I have to start by saying TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, right? We have the weekend to look forward to, and that means there's lots happening. Usually, that means that you're going to be out partying or something because it's the weekend, but it's Cropover and it's cricket. So there's literally something to do every single day as we gear up for the festival. Not to forget, there's also the Emancipation Village just here in Hackett Hall, something for you to do all throughout the week as well, even if you just go and visit the exhibits and look at the art and craft and all the craftspeople. And of course, there will be performances as we get into the weekend as well. So we'll share some of that with you. I hope you've been catching up with the CBC shows that have been put in place, especially for Cropover. Cropover calendar, the Cropover Sweet Spot comes off tonight with the Admiral. You won't want to miss that. There's lots planned. Also this evening, you can look out for Fashion Flair, bringing all the latest trends and fashion for the festival. And of course, we have some new shows coming your way as well. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that. But on today's program, we have something packed for you. Along the Cropover spirit, Orlando Hines is here. He's been rehearsing. He's back in Barbados with some brand new music for the festival. So he wanted to come and share that with us. So we look forward to sharing that now in turn with you. That's coming up. Plus, we are going to be checking in and updating you on what's happening with the Scotiabank Junior Monarch competition. Earlier this week, we had an opportunity to head on down to Scotiabank at Warren's, and they did the draw. So the children now know their performance order. We're going to continue to highlight them as we get ready for tent number 2. That, of course, is coming up as well. Today, we have some members of the QAH staff. They're going to be here to talk to us a little bit, some of the consultants as well, and they're going to be talking to us about kidney transplantation and the diseases that are kind of surrounding kidney disease and other related diseases that we really need to get a grasp on. And there's lots of information to share, so we want to make sure that you stick around for that conversation as well. Will be quite interesting for us to hear more about that. But we wanted to start by doubling back to a topic that we told you about maybe a few weeks ago. I dare say maybe 2 months or so ago, where we kind of introduced you all over again to rugby and the fact that there are some very avid rugby players and fans here in Barbados. Now, we had an opportunity to meet the captain of the Barbados team. Just as they were heading off this morning, we get to meet some of the ladies who are in the league, so to speak, and getting ready to host a big showing on Barbados' behalf. So, sitting with me, I have Vanya Edwards and Danielle Phillips, who are part of the rugby team, women's rugby team. Good morning, ladies. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
And they've brought along Anthony Lambert, who is the coach of the team. So, welcome. All right, good stuff. I'm going to start with you, ladies, first of all. Tell me, Vanya, how you got into the sport rugby.
Okay, so I got in through JR, which is a Get Into Rugby program. They came to our school, so I went to Harrison College, so I was introduced to it during PE. They would come and introduce the sport, and it would be fun, and it would be amazing. So then I transitioned to the Garrison, which is where it's still fun and amazing, but it's more fun with purpose. So you're learning the skills, you're developing so that you would be able to represent your club or represent Barbados, which I had the privilege to do a couple of times. So I love rugby. It's a very unique and special experience because it's more than just a game. You meet amazing people that are older than you that would give you advice in more than rugby, but in life. And it's just a really amazing community to be around. So yes.
Right. Well, that sounds really, really exciting. Danielle, what about you?
Yeah, similar to Vanya, I started in school. I was a little bit apprehensive, but I gave it a try and I have not stopped playing since. The community is, as she said, is everyone is learning and growing together, and with great coaching, with our great coaching staff, we destined for great things for sure.
Oh, that's beautiful. Tell me, Anthony, about your journey with the teams here in Barbados.
Yeah, it was really interesting. So my family and I moved here at the end of 2021. I started playing old man's rugby, as we call it, down at the Garrison in 2022. In 2023, a couple of the players came and asked me if I'd be interested in helping out. They wanted to really take their rugby to a next level and get sort of some focused coaching. I started working with the team, and as Vanya said, there's such an interest from some of the players, and there's such a lack of development opportunities here because we don't really have the player base to be able to get into competitions and opportunities, so people kind of just play against themselves. And so we really focused on trying to build that player base, and the recruitment drives have been amazing. We've had 35 players come and train this year, which allows us to play 10s this Saturday because we now have the players here to do that. So for me, it's been great. My wife has started playing this year because we needed players, so I was able to get her to come in. And as the ladies were saying, there's a real team community, and we get together not just for rugby, but for people's birthdays and things like that, to try and really encourage people that it's not just about running around trying to tackle each other on a Saturday. It's really about community, and we don't put people on the field until they're 100% comfortable. We've had some people train for a few months who still haven't played yet because they just don't feel ready yet. But once someone's ready, we get them on the field and we give them that opportunity to show what they can do.
Absolutely, sounds like a plan. Now, you mentioned, Vanya, that you heard about it at school, which means that moving away from that initial interest that you were sharing, you've been able to move into the schools as well. Who can tell me a little bit about the in-schools programs and which schools you've been targeting so far?
Okay, so for the secondary school, we are currently at Harrison College, we're at Queen's College, we have at Princess Margaret. I know we tapped into Dayton, but I'm not sure if we're still there. But in the primary schools, we have Luther Thorne, we have, what's the name of the school that is?
She doesn't remember. She's not going to help you out.
Well, we have a few primary schools, but we more have secondary schools. So we go in on the different days. Sometimes it's during PE. Sometimes the school is amazing and actually have an allotted time that we can come in and teach the kids. And the kids they love it. They just love to be active because, you know, we're a technology world now, but the kids just love to be active, passing around the wall. Teacher, when's the next time you're coming back? Coach, they just love the time to come together because obviously they're playing with their friends and they love to pass. And so We are trying to get into more schools, obviously getting more coaches to go out, but it's a very great opportunity because it was huge back in my school days. So we're trying to get it back to where it once was. But
that's not so long ago. Back in our school days. For you, the various installments or iterations of the game, because we are talking about the 10s game, which is coming up this weekend. There's also 15s, but we know there's rugby tag, and then, you know, so different versions. So tell me about that, and, you know, what appeals to you more?
Yeah, so we have the different iterations that you said. There's tag, there's touch if you want to be a little bit more grungy about it. There's the 7s, there's 10s, there's 15s, there's beach 5s as well. So all of them have their own niche depending on what you're into. If you just want to get a run around, touch and tag may be your thing. If you want to get a soft tackle, the beach is actually pretty good to get tackled on. It's a good introductory version in. And then 7s is really quick, it's really fast, blink twice, it's finished. 10s and 15s, they take a little bit longer and is definitely more of tapping into the team side of it, because you need to incorporate all your players. That's where you can't be an individual, there's no I in team. You have to count and trust your team player to support you, and y'all can try together. I prefer 7s. You know,
team sport all the way.
It's a little tricky, but 15s. I'm learning the 15s now, and is different. But there's definitely a place for everyone. It's the most inclusive sport you can ever think of. There's literally a place for everyone, no matter what you look like, what your capability skill level is. Once you are willing to come and give it a try, there's a spot for you.
I was about to ask that, Anthony. You know, are there any prerequisites that you're looking for coming in for any team members who might be interested?
Yeah, for me, this thing I love about rugby, as Denny was saying, is there is a position for every body shape, for every skill set. If you're tall and unathletic, you can play second row like I used to. If you're tall but you're fast, you can play in the back line. So there really is it really comes down to attitude. And this is what we really try and teach, is that whatever your skill set is, whatever your physical capabilities are, they're irrelevant if you've got the right attitude. And if you're the best athlete on the planet and you have the bad attitude, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
It really is important. And so we really focus on that with the team, trying to make it inclusive for everyone, but also give people that space where if you drop the ball, there's another opportunity. It doesn't mean you're a bad player. And what I tell, particularly with the girls, is no one knows if you're good. So if you're confident and you look like you're good, the player will run away from you. They won't run at you. So a lot of it just comes down to confidence and that ability to show, fake it until you make it. So basically pretend you know how to play rugby and eventually you'll know.
That sounds like a plan. I love that. Fake it until you make it. Vanya coming up this weekend. Well, not this weekend. Tomorrow is here. It really is upon us. You guys have a 10s game. Now, the interesting thing is you're kind of breaking up in teams so that you can get more practice playing against each other. So let's talk about that and mosey on into what's happening tomorrow.
Okay, so as you said, tomorrow we have 10s at 7 p.m. at the Garrison. I think this is going to be a very interesting match because, as you would have said, rugby is such a team sport and we are such a very close-knit team. It's going to be interesting to really have a longer game where we are set up against each other, but I think it's going to show where we're at. It's going to be the basis to see what we need to work on, what we have to clean up. The communication really needs to be there. So it's going to be fierce. It's probably going to be rough, but I think it's going to be a very good foundation for what we need to know. So yes.
Danielle, what type of support are you getting from home? I know the conversation we had before we started, we shan't tell anyone. You know, but what do people generally think when you say, I'm playing rugby?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been playing for a little while now, but it's always, you play rugby? Like, why rugby? And they always, why not? Why not rugby? You know, rugby has been very good to me over the years. It has given me so much opportunities, and there's still so many opportunities on the table for younger players coming up. So the younger, the better. Opportunities off and on the field. So education, if you're into admin, pitch support, match commissioner, reffing, all those kinds of things that you can get involved in and give rugby the push that it needs and the support. So it's definitely, and I mean, tomorrow is going to be pretty big. It's the first time the girls will be playing under the lights, the newly installed lights that we have at the Garrison. It's our first tens game in a while, right? So it's pretty historic in itself that tomorrow is happening.
And Anthony, I know that you guys are very proud that you've been able to get those lights in place at the Garrison to be able to play into the evening as well.
Yeah, and I think as Danny's saying, there's a lot of opportunities within rugby, and Danny as always, is selling herself a little bit short. She's had a number of leadership opportunities within Rugby America's North and has recently been selected for the World Rugby Capgemini Scholarship. In terms of developing that further. And we have 2 players playing collegiate rugby in the US, and we have 2 more that will soon be going to the colleges in the US. So there is really a lot of opportunities, and I think what we need for women's rugby in particular is just to reflect those opportunities domestically. We really need to try and get those 4 clubs registered so we have more domestic competition and we can prepare for tournaments. One of the things that's been a challenge in the past for women's rugby is we go to tournaments and we haven't played any games before. So now we've got Cayman coming in July. We have to play these games so that the first game we play isn't the only game we play. So yeah, getting those domestic opportunities, the lights will help with that. But we also have to thank people like Harrison College, where we were able to play earlier this year while the Garrison was being developed. The BOA has been really helpful for us as well, National Sports Council, a lot of organisations that really make rugby have the opportunity to develop. So we're really thankful and appreciative.
Yeah, well, you've made quite the impression at Harrison College. The students are definitely talking about it. Yes. So what are you working toward with all these opportunities, Vanya? I'm sure that your love for the sport translates in other ways as well, based on these opportunities that are available.
Yeah, definitely. I would say improvement of my skills, being able to help the team that I am on. As Anthony said, we have 2 definitely going abroad and I'm one of them. So being able to expand my borders, so to say, to improve not only developmentally, but mentally as well, because rugby is a very intense game. So improving and being able to also improve my attitude so that I'm a positivity to the team and not, oh my gosh, I'm here. But just being able to work together as a team, being able to communicate, being able to bring up others, because after 10 minutes in a game, you might be a little exhausted and you really need that push from a teammate to be like, keep going, we got this, get doing the tackles, to really encourage you to do better.
All right, well, good stuff. The guys are going to be on show tomorrow. They're practicing. It's not just a show match. It's for them to get some practicing in preparation for hosting the Cayman Islands women coming up on July 13th. And we want to get you prepared too, because once the Cayman Islands women come here, we want to make sure the whole of Barbados is out representing for our women, right?
Definitely.
But tomorrow, 10's game, Phoenix versus Flying Fish. I think the Flying Fish will win. Which team are you on, Vanya? Phoenix.
I think I'm a
Phoenix,
too.
yeah.
All right. So Phoenix represented here.
We are.
I'm rooting for Phoenix then. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I want to thank you for coming, Daniel, Vanya, and of course Anthony. And I wish you all the very best. I most certainly will pass by. I know a few people who are interested in taking a peek at the game.
You can bring them along,
right?
Bring them along.
And check that out. All right, and you should come on down too at the Garrison. I mean, you don't have to think about where you park. Apple parking is well lit because they have the lights up, and it's nice and cool outside, so you won't have to worry about the sun being out and too hot. And represent for the women's rugby team here in Barbados as they continue to grow and thrive. All right, it's time for a break here on Morning Barbados, but stay with us. There's a lot more coming up.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bejan anywhere. Are you a Bejan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bejan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new tunes and some old sweet ones too, jamming on the Soca Avenue. Saturdays, join AON Skills and the crew down on Soca Avenue, all new on CBC TV8. Feeling the festival.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bejan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bejan experience. My show is called Bejan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bejan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Tell you about some groundbreaking in the medical field that's happening here in Barbados, and it's groundbreaking for us in more ways than one. We hear about incidents of usually as people talking in passing about things like dialysis and so on, and we think it's a little far-fetched, but it certainly isn't because of the numbers of patients who continue to go to the QEH for life-saving treatment. So we have some people who have joined us this morning who've come to Barbados and have been here since 2015 and doing fantastic work in that area. Lead transplant surgeon with Transplant Links Charity, Dr. Nick Inston is joining us this morning, along with Dr. Natasha Paquette, who is consultant renal transplant surgeon at the QEH, and Dr. Margaret O'Shea, consultant transplant surgeon at the QEH as well. So big titles, but good to have all of you with us today.
Morning.
Good morning. I'll start with you, Dr. O'Shea, to kind of set the table for us and tell us a little bit about kidney-related problems here in Barbados, and really what's the state of Barbadians when it comes to that particular area. We've been getting lots of bad news when it comes to the NCDs and other things of that nature. So where are we with kidney disease?
Yes, we do have a pretty large dialysis population. This is patients who are at the end stage of renal disease, so the kidneys are no longer working, and we have to replace the function of the kidneys by dialysis. We have about a population of about 350 patients on average, and this number has increased over the years, particularly mostly in part to the increase in non-communicable diseases, because majority of these patients do have underlying hypertension and diabetes, and after a time it affects the kidney so negatively that eventually the kidneys stop working. But we believe there are a lot more patients with chronic kidney disease, so the dialysis patients are sort of the tip of the iceberg. So we think maybe we have, just based on normal numbers we see overseas, if you have a dialysis population of about 350, it means you have about 20,000 people with chronic kidney disease from the same reasons of the diabetes, hypertension. But other people end up with renal failure, like maybe from stone disease, or maybe they have polycystic kidneys, which is kidneys with a large cyst. So dialysis is the only way of maintaining life when your kidneys are not working. But our role is to offer another option, which is transplantation. So if your kidney is not working, a new kidney from somebody who has a healthy kidney or a deceased person can put you back to normal for the most part, just once you take medications to not reject that kidney. So we do careful matching to make sure patients can donate a kidney to somebody else, and then that means a life free of dialysis and pretty much back to your routine. So that is what our role is in terms of this. We also offer access for dialysis patients, because in order to get the dialysis, you do need a special operation called a fistula, or maybe a catheter in the abdomen, in order for the machines to clean the blood, which is very important to maintain life.
Okay, Dr. Paquette, talk to us about the criteria for people to be able to kind of get into this program, more or less, to be able to be eligible to have a transplantation then.
So we have a very good group of us that vet the patients. So first of all, you have to want to be able to donate or think about donation, and our coordinator would then take your number, talk to you, have multiple meetings to solidify or to ensure that this is something that you want to do. Once a donor or donors are recognized or thought of for a specific patient, there are a lot of things that have to be done. So they'll have to have some special blood tests to make sure that they are healthy. So the donor has to be at the peak of their health to be able to make sure that we're not compromising them in any way. So not only their physical health, but the mental side of it as well, because it is a big donation, really and truly, and they need to be both medically and physically, medically fit, but also psychologically fit as well. So.
Absolutely. Before we get to you, Dr. Inston, back to you, Dr. O'Shea, is this something that you're seeing a lot more Barbadians interested in doing? Because donation of organs is not something that we've necessarily heard a lot about, apart from watching it on television, of course, with the Barbadian population.
Yes, it's a big ask. I think that's why Dr. Paquette mentioned, mentally you need to be there as well. It's a big ask, and we find people don't want to ask, right? Patients who are recipients, they have the need, but people are reluctant to ask. That's what we find. And so therefore people need to offer if they know their patient, their relative or friend is in need of a kidney. So we want more donors. We definitely are lacking in that regard. So, I really want to appeal to anyone who knows someone who's on dialysis, maybe they're a loved one, to make the offer, because the need is unmet, and I think that is internationally. There is so much need for transplants, and I think around the world it's sometimes like 20-30%. So it's not something that I can't say we're having more and more of it, but that's why we're here, to make more awareness and let people know that their relative needs the organ.
All right, so over to you, Dr. Inston. We're bringing you into the conversation now. Sure. Had the ladies dominating for a minute, but here you are. Tell me a bit about Transplant Links Charity, first of all. You said you've been coming to the island since 2015.
So Transplant Links Charity it's a community rather than just a charity, and what we're trying to do around the world is work with developing transplant programs, and programs that might not have the same numbers that we do in the UK. We do 200, in my unit we do 200 transplants a year. So we're constantly doing this. It becomes a normal part of practice. What we want to do here is make that, as Dr. O'Shea says, make that a normal part of conversation and practice here in Barbados. We're kind of getting to the point now after this many years that we're not very particularly necessary. So the team here did all the work, did all the transplants, all the donors in the last few days here. We're here really just for a bit of extra support, and maybe even just when there's a slightly more challenging case, to add a bit of expertise and a bit more input. But what we'd like to do from Transplant Links more, and this is a really good opportunity, and thank you for this, is to get people talking about transplantation, because it's a simple solution to a very difficult problem and a very horrible problem. Dialysis is not a nice way to exist, and renal failure is not a nice disease, whereas a transplantation from a loved one is actually a really simple solution. And there's a lot of misunderstanding, I think, from the donor side of things, that if someone gives a kidney, are they going to be more ill? Are they going to get a problem? And it's just not the case. People who donate a kidney live a full life, full healthy life. All the tests have been done to make sure it's very safe. It's a couple of hours operation. People are back up to doing their normal activities within a few weeks and able to support that loved one, not going to dialysis, and go on holiday, can travel, can do all those things afterwards. So it's a real win situation.
All right, delving more, Dr. Paquette, into what the actual surgery entails, because Dr. Inston over here went through it pretty quickly, but with doing 200 surgeries a year, I could tell why for Barbadians we might need to take it a little more slowly. And it's great to hear that it's a quick turnaround time with it, and the person donating does not necessarily have to suffer in terms of their quality of life. So let's get into that a little bit more so people understand, because I too, in thinking, hey, someone is giving a kidney, for me, I'm thinking this is major, but maybe it can, impact your overall health as well. So let's do some myth busting, clarifying, or maybe what people think about it.
So what we offer as the surgery itself is laparoscopic with a hand-assisted port. So the incisions or the cuts that you're left with are relatively small. So we are able to do this operation so that the patient comes out with limited discomfort or pain. So the incisions are small and safe. Everything is done with special energy devices and clamps and clips that are safe for removing the person's kidney. And after the operation, patients are usually a day or two in the hospital, and then they are back home. Their kidney that remains starts working immediately to do double work, and their kidney function usually returns to the normal within 4 or 5 days. So it's the other kidney just knows to work double time and supports the patient. Yeah,
that's the beautiful thing about how the body works. Dr. O'Shea, we had Dr. Paquette kind of talk us through it, and I know we have a video, which is always worth 1,000 words. So if we can share some of that, and for you to talk us through it in terms of how it's done. I know in the U.S., transplantation of organs is so widespread, people are open to sharing if something happens to them or what have you. But here in Barbados, to get someone to take an injection sometimes is a challenge. So, what are the conversations that you're having with families to kind of reassure them, despite all that we have said? I would imagine that it really takes taking care of, as you mentioned, Dr. Paquette, mentally and otherwise.
Yes. So we reiterate just what Dr. Paquette said, that you can have a very healthy and normal life after donation. The scars, they're very small, and you leave the hospital within a day or two. We usually like them to meet their recipient before going home, and they come back and visit very regularly. And you live a very full life, and actually there's some research that shows that you live even longer, because our unit offers lifelong care. So the patients who are donors, they come back, they see the transplant coordinator on a routine basis to make sure that they're sticking to a healthy diet, exercise, and they already have no illnesses coming into it, so we just make sure that they maintain that, and if any problems come up, we're there to address it. So it's really a fantastic program to get into. And then of course you have that feel good to know that this is what you've done for your loved one.
Dr. Instant, you guys talked about compatibility being a major thing, so let's delve into that a little bit. I know that wouldn't automatically mean that because you are related, you would be a match or what have you. So what are some of the markers that you're looking for to determine whether someone is compatible to be able to donate?
So first and foremost in all of this, we need to make sure that the donor's safety is the priority. So we have to work up that there's no disease in the donor, and that's the first thing. If there's any problem that we find with the donor, we stop. But in terms of making sure someone's a match, which is the same thing as compatibility, first it's blood group, although that's not an absolute reason, but the main reason, we make sure people have the same blood group. And there's a thing called tissue type, which is a way that your cells recognize each other. On the whole, that's a very simple test through a blood test, and we can find out which particular person is suitable. on the whole, we'll find it with matches in terms of siblings and family members that there will be a match. So there's no reason not to come forward from that point of view. And the guys here will work out who the best match is.
All right, so they've brought along a video for us to be able to see a little bit. Dr. O'Shea, you're in the unique position of looking at this screen over here. So as the video comes on, we would love for you to be able to kind of walk us through it. I know sometimes as doctors, because you become accustomed doing it, you know, it becomes routine for you. But for those of us watching it, of course, you know, we'll issue a little bit of a warning. If you're a little queasy, you might want to go take a little break and maybe just listen at this stage. I know a lot of Barbadians talk about not being able to look at blood and stuff like that. But tell us a little bit about the video that we're going to see. Is this actually of the procedure or one of the procedures that was done over the last few weeks?
This is actually Dr. Paquette taking the kidney out. I put it in the recipient. Okay. So you're going to show the video now?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go ahead and start telling us.
Right, so basically after the patient goes to sleep, we make sure and position them with because usually we take the left kidney to put it on the right side of the patient. And thereafter getting entry into the abdomen, we can see very clearly the kidney, and it's actually covered by the colon, to be very specific, when you first go in. So part of the operation is to take that colon down and expose the kidney. And as you can see, everything is seen on a video, so we can see inside through a camera, through a very small cut. And there's Natasha doing her bit, and Nick is watching over her. So you can feel free to
jump in, Dr. Paquette, as well. Explain, you know what's happening.
And there are dedicated nursing staff.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So you have to make sure that, well, at this point in time,
that's me going up to receive the kidney.
So once the kidney is removed from its attachments, which is a vein, a artery, and the ureter that goes to the bladder, then the kidney is removed from the hand port. It is then handed over to the back bench, or the person that's going to be doing the back bench, and the kidney is then flushed out of all its blood and cooled down to a temperature that will allow it to stay safe until it's ready for transplantation.
They're getting the ice ready because the kidney has to be cooled right down. So after it's taken off from its blood supply, we have to cool it down so it sort of stops working while we're waiting to get the patient, the recipient, ready for the surgery.
So the back bench we were talking about, you cover the back bench because you are receiving.
Correct. The kidney once it comes out.
Okay.
Yes. So I get it to put fluid through it so it cools right down. And that's me getting my ice ready to receive the kidney.
All right. How long does this procedure take from start to end, from taking it from the donor to handing over to the back bench, as you call it, to be able to implant into the patient?
So that time is, because we use one operating theater, that time is, modifiable, I guess, because we have to wake up the patient safely, bring that patient to the recovery room, the donor, and then get the recipient in. So usually it's about 2 hours before we get the kidney back into the recipient.
The surgery itself is about 3 hours to take it out, to take the kidney out safely.
Wow, that's quite some time. And the team is quite a big team as well that we saw there in camera, kind of getting things together, all in place, from the nurses, as you mentioned, to the doctors who are in place to do various things, I would imagine.
You have the anesthetic team who's keeping the patient safe while we're doing the operation. We have the surgeons, the scrub nurses, and then it's 2 procedures at the same time, taking the kidney out and then giving it to the other surgeon at the back bench to clean, take off any extra fat or whatever on the kidney before putting it into the other patient. Yeah.
I know that there have been quite a few advances in recent times, and with you in the UK doing so many surgeries, to have you here means that you are bringing kind of the top end of what's happening to our doctors here and vice versa. I know you have to continue upgrading your skills as well as a part of what you do. So let's talk about how treatment of kidney disease and transplantation and so on has improved over time.
Sure. So transplantation is the best treatment for kidney disease. It's as simple as that. What we've done, particularly on the donor side of things, is move from an open operation to, as you saw there, a keyhole operation. So patients recover much quicker. The way we do it here in Barbados is exactly the same way as we do it anywhere else, you know, so it's a top end techniques and equipment and instruments and everything else. There's no compromise in terms of the way we're doing the procedure here. But patients recover very quickly, and patients will be leaving hospital, I think, in about a week's time. After the transplant procedure, the donors will be leaving hospital after 2 days and be back to doing normal activities within a few weeks. So it just shows how this sort of procedure has gone from being major surgery to actually being quite a very simple, straightforward, safe procedure that people recover from very quickly.
All right, that's wonderful stuff. And we talked all about the transplantation, but I think it's important to remind viewers, particularly those who have relatives and friends who are doing dialysis, of how challenging it can be for 3 times a week, for long hours. It really takes away from your quality of life, and this is an option that, as you said, drastically improves quality of life. So, Dr. O'Shea, just your final words for people to even consider getting into the program.
Yes, I think as we pointed out, the surgery is safe. It's as safe as gallbladder surgery. I mean, nothing is completely 100%, but the same like flying is the safest way of travel. Transplantation for donors is extremely safe. We want people to come forward. If you see you have a relative that is on dialysis, make the offer, because it's a big ask, but we try to encourage patients to even bring it up with their relatives until such time as we get the legislation for deceased donation. And even on that route, have a think if you would like to be an organ donor if something happened to you just, suddenly, so that we can have more and more patients free of dialysis as we see this number increase year on year.
All right. I want to thank you for the literal life-saving work that you're doing. To see you walking around every single day. Many Barbadians might not recognize the type of work you're doing, but I know many of them are really grateful to you for the work that you do. So thank you, really. And thank you for your time this morning, coming in and sharing with us from this perspective.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
So remember, the conversation on transplantation continues today on Q100.7 FM as we have the conversation going on with that radio show. We'll tell you a little bit more about that coming up. So stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Welcome to the Cropover Sweet Spot, your go-to show for all things Cropover 2024. We'll dive into the big issues of the day with exclusive interviews with the entertainers, the experts, the movers and shakers of the festival, plus you, the audience. Get to join the conversation and share your views. Tune in to CBC TV 8 every Friday night for the ultimate Cropover experience with yours truly, the Admiral. We're big on everything Cropover 2024. The Cropover Sweet Spot, brought to you with the kind compliments of Axel Finance.
Tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. to see me, Chrissy D, on Fashion Flair on CBC TV 8. I'll be bringing you the latest fashion trends, fashion ends, and everything in between. Get ready to transform your style, get inspired, and elevate your fashion game with the ultimate guide to looking fabulous. Join me, Chrissy D, this Friday on CBC TV 8 at 6 p.m. for an exciting episode of Fashion Flair.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308 and don't miss a single six, wicket or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. tune into ESPN on MCTV. And for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
3 minutes before the 7 o'clock hour. Good to have you with us on this Friday morning. Lots and lots happening all across the island, but we're having a conversation about kidney transplantation. We had a few doctors with us a little bit earlier telling us about it. That conversation that I mentioned is actually happening at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital this afternoon, face-to-face, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So you'll get to engage with the doctors and pose your questions, find out a little bit more about transplantation, which we're going to continue to do right now with Amy Jewett-Harris, who is Chief Executive Officer of TLC, or Transplant Links Charity UK, and Sadian Sisnet, who is a kidney recipient or kidney transplant advocate, and she's here to share her story. And of course, Amy is here to tell us more about TLC. So thank you for joining us. And this can be quite a heavy conversation. You know, if we're honest, we often don't like to talk about instances where people are not well or what have you. Mm-hmm. So it's great to have you with this amazing story, Sadian, here to share with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So you kind of discovered that you had kidney disease in a very kind of off the cuff way. Tell us more about that.
Yes, I actually discovered I had kidney disease when I went to my dentist. I was 28 years old. I was going for a routine clean, and my dentist, Dr. Simone Aline, she takes your blood pressure before every visit, before she even does a clean on you. And she discovered that repeatedly my blood pressure was high. 28 years old, blood pressure high. So she refused to clean me and referred me back to my GP. And that was it. He referred me then to Dr. Bell, because he had taken an ultrasound in his office of my kidneys and realized that there was some scarring there, and referred me back to Dr. Lisa Bell at the QEH. So that was the start of my kidney journey.
What happened after that? Once you got to this stage, I would imagine at 28 years old, you're not thinking, with no history, as you mentioned, in your family. What were you thinking at that stage? Could this be right? 28 years old, kidney disease?
I didn't know what to think at that time. I was just going where I was sent, basically. So I went to Dr. Martin, my GP. He sent me to Dr. Bell. I went to Dr. Bell, and she would have done her test and said, yes, your creatinine level is quite high. There's, again, no history in your family. Let's see what this is all about. I went for a biopsy. And they discovered there was some significant scarring on my kidneys at that point in time. So I started on medication and treatment at the QEH with Dr. Bell.
Wow, we're going to get into more of that. But Amy, is this the usual way that a lot of people are finding out, kind of on a side, not necessarily by looking to see if they have challenges with kidney disease or challenges generally with their kidneys?
Yeah, so kidney failure can present in a lot of different ways. Unfortunately, kidney failure is a bit of a sort of a hidden disease. So it's not that you wake up one day and you say, oh, my kidneys are hurting today. Some people just become a bit more tired. They're unable to walk up the stairs like they used to. And there's lots of symptoms that don't immediately indicate that you might have you wouldn't think, oh, I feel tired today, I must have kidney failure. But generally, hypertension and diabetes are the leading causes of kidney failure, which is why it's really important that patients or members of the general public just keep on top of their hypertension and diabetes, because unfortunately a lot of people don't realise they have kidney failure until it's the end stage kidney failure, at which point you'll need renal replacement therapy, which is dialysis or transplant.
Is it usual to see it presenting in younger patients?
Unfortunately, it's becoming more and more common with, like I say, the higher rates of hypertension and diabetes. It's unfortunately something we're seeing across the globe. You know, we work as a charity in across mainly the Caribbean and Africa as well, and we're seeing more and more that there's a lot of younger patients needing needing dialysis or kidney transplant.
Okay, Sadian, how did moving into treatment change your quality of life and how you operated on a daily basis generally?
It was a drastic change. I can definitely tell you that. I went on PD, peritoneal dialysis, so that where Dr. O'Shea spoke about the catheter in your abdomen, that's the one that I had. So I was hooked up to a machine. I had the machine at home next to your bed, and you're hooked up to a machine from your abdomen through some tubing to the machine, and it does the replacement during the night. So that's 10 hours. Overnight that you have to be dialyzed. I was still working at the time because that's the advantage of doing home dialysis. So you have it while you're sleeping. So I go on at 8 o'clock at night in order to get up around 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready for work. Yeah. So it was definitely a drastic change. I mean, lots of medications, obviously with a 10-hour dialysis, that's limited social activities, and as a newly married woman in your early 30s, that's definitely limiting.
Absolutely, I can imagine. So talk to me about how long you were on dialysis and then how the conversation was presented to you about transplantation as a possibility.
I was on dialysis only for a year. I was one of the lucky ones that was only on for a year, because Dr. Bell and I had actually spoken before, because of my young age, about going straight from medication, managing via medication, to transplantation. And I had that conversation. I honestly don't remember how it came up with my brother, but both my brother and my husband at the time offered to be tested as donors. So that was an ongoing conversation with my family, and it was kind of a foregone conclusion, to be fair, between both my brother and my husband. So they were both tested to see who would have been the better match, as you would have heard before, and my brother was the one who came out as almost genetically my twin. So he was the one that went forward with the surgery.
Wow, bless him. Now, Amy, I know that you're not only doing work here in Barbados. We mentioned a little earlier in the segment before that you've been here in Barbados since 2015, but you're also doing work across the region as well. Talk to me about that work that you're doing down the region.
Yeah, so Transplant Links was set up in 2008, so we've been going for a long time now. And as Dr. Inston mentioned earlier, we are a community, we're a worldwide community based in the UK, and we work mainly in lower middle income countries, so across the Caribbean, in Africa, and soon to be Papua New Guinea as well. And our goal really is to be the facilitators and the catalysts for change. So we're not an organisation who are interested in turning up, doing some operations and then just leaving again. We're in it for the long run, and we're interested in sustainable programme development. So it's not all about the surgery. There is a transplant program is a very complex and multifaceted program. You know, you've got all of the disciplines in the hospital, so pharmacy, radiology, nursing. So we take a holistic approach. We recognise it's not just enough to transfer the surgical skills. So we will work with partner centres who ask for help in developing kidney services, kidney transplant services. And our goal is to ultimately make ourselves redundant, that we won't have to keep coming anymore, because our goal is that patients around the world will have access to kidney transplantation. They'll have a choice between dialysis and transplant. So we really help our partner centre programs along their journey by providing in-person training and support like we have this week, but also we have a really extensive online education program as well, with lectures from experts all around the world. So yeah, we try to put the community in TLC as much as we can.
And speaking of community, I know here in Barbados you also have some corporate partners who continue to make it possible, so that you're here to lend the level of support that you have been able to with the procedures that have been done this week.
Absolutely. I mean, we couldn't do anything as a charity without our sponsors. So Republic Bank especially have stood by us for so long, and they understand the vision and they understand the change that can be brought around with kidney transplant. So we're so grateful to them for being our long-term partners. Also, Marriott Hotel have always been supporters of us. They put us up in Turtle Beach, which is really generous of them. Also, the Peter Moores Foundation and the John Thompson Memorial Trust. There's a lot of, in the same way that a transplant program in a hospital has lots of different components, our sponsors come together as a community to help us as well. So we're really grateful to them.
All right, that's beautiful. I want to get in your head a little bit, Sadie Ann. Talk to us about how long it took from the point that you heard that your brother was a match to when you actually had to have this surgery done, and what the conversations were like with you and him and with your family generally, because here we are where there's not just one sibling who is going under the knife, so to speak, but two. So it must have been very challenging for all of you.
Yes, to be fair, I was more worried about him than I was about myself, because again, he was my younger brother by 6 years. Unfortunately, our mother had not too long passed, and our father was definitely supportive and behind us. We were both married at the time, and so our spouses were also there. He had a young baby as well. My nephew was around 6 or 7 months at the time. So it was quite a lot of family just coming together, supporting. My in-laws as well were supportive and there for us. So it was definitely a family matter that everybody just came together for support and that kind of thing.
Time. What type of time did it take?
Well, not long, maybe a year. We were talking about it from the time Dr. Bell started to talk about it and the testing was done. So it takes about perhaps maybe 6 months to do all the tests that are necessary. Of course, you have to wait for results to come back. And then the Transplant Links team and our team here, they do surgeries twice a year if there are persons that are available, interested, and are willing to do the transplant. So yeah, it took about a year between conversation to actual surgery.
Well, what advice, Amy, would you give generally to someone who might be looking on and thinking? Because as Dr. O'Shea mentioned, they've been seeing, and Dr. Paquette, they've been seeing that people more often than not suggest, more so than patients themselves asking. And I know that is something that might be cultural here in Barbados, to be reluctant to ask someone to kind of what we see as go out on a limb for you. So, what advice would you give to a relative or friend or someone who's thinking about transplanting based on all that you've seen, not only here in Barbados, but down the region and across the world with your work?
Sure, I think actually that attitude is common across the world. So transplant is weird. Let's be real. Taking an organ out from one person into another person seems like it shouldn't work. It's kind of, as far I know I'm biased, but I think it's a kind of magic sort of medicine in that regard. I think the most important thing is to remember that it can start with just a conversation that is explorative and it might lead to transplantation, but the most important thing is to just ask the questions. If someone decides they want to be a kidney donor, it's not like when you say, okay, I'd like to be a kidney donor, that's it, you're signing on the dotted line, you've got no choice to ever back out. The most important thing really is to have the conversation with the person who has kidney failure about the potential for transplant, but also, everyone in the team here, for example, is so passionate about transplant that they would be so happy to give advice and talk about it. So my advice would be have the conversation. There's no harm in just talking about it.
All right, absolutely. And your quality of life, I would imagine, has changed drastically for the positive.
Immeasurably, that is for sure. For my brother, the donor, no difference in his life. He's a personal trainer, and he's just been going back to what he was doing before. Me, I have a little girl now. So thank you very much. So that enabled me, transplantation enabled me to move from being on dialysis from the medication and everything to being free from all the catheter and the dialysis and everything else. And I was able to get pregnant and have a child. That could not have happened without transplantation.
Well, I want to thank you for coming in and sharing with us. Amy Jewett-Harris, the CEO of TLC. We certainly hope that we have stirred something in you. So if you know of someone you can assist, that you would be willing to even just start the conversation. And a little admiration for you, Sadie Ann, for coming out and sharing your story with us. Truly is an inspirational one, and she continues to be an advocate for transplant. Remember, the conversation continues at the QEH today, 1 o'clock. Go on out and find out more in a one-on-one forum. All right. Thank you again for your time.
Thanks for having us.
All right, it's time for another break. When we come back, we're going to kind of go on the other side of things. And it's Cropover here in Barbados. So we're going to take in some new music. We have an artist who is here from overseas with some new Cropover music, and he's going to be sharing. That's all next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bejan anywhere. Are you a Bejan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bejan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new tunes and some old sweet ones too, jamming on the Soca Avenue. Saturdays, join AON Skills and the crew down on Soca Avenue, all new on CBC TV8. Feeling the festival.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bejan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB.
Tonight is the beginning of a special something. Tonight is the beginning of a special evening. We in the town, we dancing, yes, we celebrating. We going downtown, we dancing, yes, we doing something. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for something good? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for something good? That tell me don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Be dancing in the morning. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Be dancing in the evening. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Be dancing in the morning. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Be dancing in the evening. What a perfect setting, the perfect place for lying. Along with people grinding, so happy for this weekend. The girls them looking lovely, showing off their bling bling. They're ready to approach you, asking what you're buying. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for something good? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for something good? They tell me don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. We dancing in the morning. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. It's vibes until the evening. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. We dancing in the morning. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. We dancing in the evening. What you want?
Something special, something good.
What you want?
Something special, something good.
What you need?
Something special, something good.
What you need?
Something special, something good.
What you want?
Something special, something good.
What you need?
Something special, something good.
What you need?
Something special, something good.
What you need?
Something special, something good.
They tell me don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Be dancing in the morning. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Be dancing until the evening. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Be dancing in the morning. Don't stop.
Lando. All right, good stuff coming up. We're going to have a conversation with him about that song and the last time he was here in Barbados as we continue to celebrate this Cropover season. Stay with us. But before we go to break, we want to remind you that we, of course, are getting you ready also for the hurricane season. That's right, with the compliments of General Accident Insurance Company Barbados Limited, we are bringing you hurricane tips. Avoid driving or going outdoors during a storm. Flooding and damaging winds can make traveling very dangerous. So again, for those of you who are heading out, make it not during the storm. I know people want to go out and see what the sea is looking like or if things are happening outside, but it's not a very good idea. That, of course, with the compliments of General Accident Insurance Company Barbados Limited. Stay with us. More is coming up after this break.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bejan experience. My show is called Bejan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bejan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@c.
7:22, we definitely are feeling the festival here at CBC. And you know we go big on everything, right? We want to make sure that you are enjoying the festival as well. This gentleman, you just saw him performing his new track, Jammin'. So welcome home, first of all. Good to have you back with us. Oh, before we get into that, I just wanted to tell you a little something else about the hurricane preparedness. We're going to talk with Orlando in just a little bit. He's ready and ready to go. But in terms of hurricane preparedness, we want to make sure that you are on top of things with what's happening. So you definitely can watch TV8. We have some programming coming your way, and we're going to be sharing some new initiatives as well that we're going to be doing to make sure that you are absolutely prepared. Don't wait until the last minute. We know how it goes. We hear that there's a system forming or coming our way or approaching the region, and all of a sudden everybody just has to go out and get their canned foods. Now, something that stayed with me from a seminar that I was a part of last week, put on by the DEM and BBC Action Media, was that a lot of people are buying their canned foods and eating it up. If you buy food for the season, it's supposed to be for the season. It's not the food that you eat. It's supposed to be kept so that each time a system is approaching, you don't have to go shopping again. And that's something really, really interesting. I think a lot of people do that as well. So let's just make sure that that we, of course, continue to make sure we're prepared. All right, so that one was called Don't Stop.
Don't Stop.
Yes?
The other one, yeah.
So don't stop making the music. Like I was saying, welcome home.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks
good
again.
to have you here. You're always doing so much wonderful work here in Barbados. For many years, you would come, we would have conversations through a mutual friend, Jeffrey.
Yes.
And he would tell us about you coming to bring stuff for the Children for the Richer South Teen Talent Show. You've been here to work with and work for the mighty Griner. You know, what keeps you coming home? Now you're home for Cropover. Yeah, what keeps you coming home and participating in the festival and, you know, being such a responsible artist?
Well, you know, Barbados is a paradise. Living abroad is so, you know, it's not like here. When you're here, you're free. Living in the States is like, to me, it's like you're in your own prison. You can go out, walk around, do stuff, but it's not like here. For instance, if you're in the street drinking a beer and you don't have it covered, the police will come and want to arrest you. Here is more free. You can do a lot more stuff here. So I'm always happy to be here.
Right. So what I heard just now is you came home so you could drink a beer in the street?
No, not really. I come here to enjoy myself, have fun,
know.
and do some shows.
Yeah. So I know that you make music year round and you perform with a band. So let's talk about that a little bit, the work that you do, even when you're not here in Barbados, because you're always sending me music.
Yes.
New music. You're always making music, whether it's reggae, soca, you know, all genres.
Well, I enjoy music a lot. The band Intrigue, that's the band I play with, my band. And we perform all over Canada, all over the United States. And it's very good. The music is, everybody tells me the music is very good, and I always enjoy making music, so that's what keeps me going.
I would imagine that people want to book you because you're a Bejan band or a Caribbean band, and you have that, you know, that sound. You're going for Caribbean or Bejan music.
Yes.
So what are the conversations that are happening when people are booking Intrigue for their various events?
They always want to hear that soca music. They always want to hear that reggae music. They always, you know, no matter what type of function it is, and they hire the band, they always specify, we want to hear some soca and we want to hear some reggae, because the R&B is always there. So they always specify they want soca and reggae.
Do you happen upon a lot of Barbadians in your travels, or are you introducing soca music to a whole new set of people each time you perform?
Well, I run into a lot of Bajans, as well as people from abroad. People always come up to me and always say, "Where you from?" Barbados. Why you here? You know, so I'm always willing to introduce Barbados to those who don't know Barbados and invite them down here to see this country.
Wonderful stuff. And you're writing, around COVID, your writing kind of exploded because we had quite a few songs from you.
Yep.
How have things changed since then? And that particular kind of slowed down, that kind of encouraged a lot of people to speed up on other things.
During the COVID time, it was a very sad time. You had to be indoors and stuff like that. And you had more time to sit down and write and think about what you want to do and stuff like that. Because you were always indoors. Now was a little more free, you can get out there, so it slowed down a little bit now from the writing and stuff, but the music is still there.
Now, Orlando is the 50th anniversary of Cropover. I want you to reflect a little bit on when you first paid interest, more or less, to the Cropover Festival and how it has impacted you through the years.
From the time Cropover started, I always used to enjoy the music. I always wanted to get out there and perform and sing and stuff like that. And that's what I've been doing throughout the years. I joined Battleground Tank. I was a backup vocalist there. And that was a very, very wonderful time, very beautiful time there. We used to always enjoy the shows, and you always have good shows.
Call some of the names that were in Battleground back then when you joined as a backing vocalist.
Romeo, Mighty Gabby, the Mighty Griner. Evan Yewood used to be a backup vocalist with me.
Wow, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
He used to be a backing vocalist in Battleground?
Yes, he used to do backup vocals alongside of me, Lynette Hines, Jillian Lord. We used to have a great time.
And where was it held back in the day?
The auditorium, George Street Auditorium.
That was the space for a lot of things. Yes, it's wonderful that they've kind of renovated the space and brought it back. Something else that you were very closely associated with as well that really grew in that space was the Richard Stout Teen Talent show as well. And I know that you were quite close to Richard.
Yeah, Richard was my good friend. You see, I'm wearing the white shoes.
Yeah.
The white shoes. I'm wearing the white shoes to honor him because, he was a very nice guy. Richard used to do a lot in the back. People always think that Richard was just an entertainer, but he used to help a lot of people, and I were very proud to be alongside him, helping him, because he would always call me, Lando, this body need this body need that, so you can do to help. I would try to raise funds out there in the United States and try to bring them here to try to help whoever needs help.
Oh, that's beautiful, and I know he did a lot of work. Really, the title, The Godfather of Music, there's so many artists who've really come through, and I don't know if you've seen that bus shed in the Kensington area.
Yeah.
I love it. Every time I pass by, I said, this is truly a wonderful way for us to start how we honor Richard. Love that. What are you looking forward to? You're here for the rest of the festival. You have the music out. So what are you looking forward to most for this Cropover season?
Having a good time. I want to have a good time, eat some good food, have a beer. I'm looking forward to that.
All right, so we look forward to seeing you maybe on a few stages. A little birdie told me that for this 50th anniversary, they're going to be bringing back some classic things of the past. So who knows, maybe Battleground, and seeing Edwin as a backing vocalist alongside Orlando Hines will be an interesting drawing card, right?
That was years ago. Also here, I'm going to be a part of Julie's tent, Shining Stars. So you can come there and see me perform on the shows.
Yes, Shining Stars, they're going to be starting soon as well. You can look out for the dates for when Shining Stars will be coming up on Cropover calendar. The first one is going to be June 28th, so make sure you check them out. And they're going to be performing at what location, Orlando?
In the Steel Shed.
Going back to the Steel Shed, how about that? How fortuitous. It's really in keeping with what we talked about, the Steel Shed really being the center of entertainment. And I'm happy that we're back at that place. So 28th, the Shining Stars, they're going to be at the Steel Shed, and you can see Orlando Hines, Lando, performing this one that he performed this morning, or Jammin'.
Jammin' is the one I'm going to be performing.
In the tent.
In the tents.
All right, so look out for him. And I love that you're wearing the white shoes as a tribute to Richard.
Yes, I am.
Absolutely, absolutely love it. All right, it's time for another break here at Morning Barbados. When we come back, we're going to take a peek at what's happening with the juniors. Stay with us.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Welcome to the Cropover Sweet Spot, your go-to show for all things Cropover 2024. We'll dive into the big issues of the day with exclusive interviews with the entertainers, the experts, the movers and shakers of the festival, plus you, the audience. Get to join the conversation and share your views. Tune in to CBC TV 8 every Friday night for the ultimate Cropover experience with yours truly, the Admiral. We're big on everything Cropover 2024. The Cropover Sweet Spot, brought to you with the kind compliments of Axel Finance.
Tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. to see me.
It's 28 minutes now before 8 o'clock, 28 minutes before 8. So we wanted to share some more about the NCF Scotiabank Junior Monarch tent. So we have some more highlights for you. We featured some of the children yesterday. Today we get to see Shauna B, Talicia, Taquan, Zari B, Potent, Majestic Maya, Twin Boy, John Ross, Renisha, and Trinity performing.
love Cropover, Cropover, the festival we love.
Yeah, so the little ones definitely doing their the Junior Monarch competition, the Scotiabank Junior Monarch competition. Remember, tomorrow, come on out and support them. 6 o'clock at the Queen's Park Steel Shed. That's where they will be for tent number 2. When we come back, highlights from one of the biggest cooler fetes already for the season. That's coming up on Morning Barbados.
Tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. to see me, Chrissy D, on Fashion Flair on CBC TV8. I'll be bringing you the latest fashion trends, fashion ends, and everything in between. Get ready to transform your style, get inspired, and elevate your fashion game with the ultimate guide to looking fabulous. Join me, Chrissy D, this Friday on CBC TV8 at 6 p.m. for an exciting episode of Fashion Flair.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308, and don't miss a single six, wicket, or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bejan anywhere. Are you a Bejan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bejan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio.
So we continue to share with you what's happening for Cropover, and last weekend we had one of the biggest events so far for the season, powered of course by 98.1 The One. It was Powder, the ultimate cooler fete, and it featured the biggest names for the festival. Some of the top songs that are being played on radio stations and performed across the island, and of course some of the most popular DJs as well. We took the cameras there, and now we bring some of the action your way.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Real Powder 2024. Let me go. Sing. I hear this effect. Why? Going on. And I feel I'm going down. I feel I'm going down. Somebody says I'm going. Grateful. You know you have to do it for the girls. Ladies, listen. Boom. Why? Every good girl need a rude boy in she life. Ah, yeah. It's a fatal like the sweet as business spice. Ah, yeah. Nobody have to understand me and you know the program. Don't got to be your man to keep your attention. They say I'm no good for you, but you know I'm good to you. I give you a good, yeah. Fool for you, will break any rule for you. To give you a good, yeah. Oh, take her, she gets in on cause she in a heat. She want to jump in the wild. Oh gosh. Squeeze it. Hey, oi, come, Marsville. Here we go. Super legs. I say give it to them cause I want give it to ya. Hey, I want give it to ya. Come, I want give it to ya. I want give it to ya. I want give it to ya, baby. I want give it to ya. Say honey. I want give it to ya. Say sweetheart. I want give it to ya. Where you ain't it, turn me up. Like a funk in a overcome. Why it is so sweet? I beg for some girl. Come give me some sweetness, darling. Pon the roll like a brand new car. Pop the string like a orchestra. We connection, raising temperature. Come give me some sweetness, darling. Come, hold it, cause she get in on, cause she in a heat. She want 30 pressure on. Sing this song. Turn it on. Stop it.
Say goodbye, those tears I cry now. I can't get over it.
So don't you ever let me down again. Cause I'm depending on you, so you better come through this time. Please hear my cry. And if I ever let you down, my friend, it was a misunderstanding. So if I took you for granted, then I promise from today I go on like I never jump, wave like I never, one like I never went it, just to show you I'm sorry, and I need you back in my life. Look at people by the truck, emotions running high, we are not in the sky, tears running down we high. Can't you tell us we sorry, and we need you back in my life. I need a jump.
True soca lovers up inside here tonight. All day, make some jump around and make some noise. All day, make some jump around and make some. Iron Man, oh he's sweeter than when he lick the pan. Jamayan, woman has leave them on. Iron Man, oh sweeter than honey. I will stretch out your hand. Bring it for me. Bring it. I 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 bring it. Bring the iron love. I bring it. 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 Bring the iron all day, make some noise, jump around and make some noise. All day, make some noise, jump around and make some noise. I want somebody just hold on a girl right now. You can't be dancing by yourself.
This music's so sweet, look what you do.
Look what you do, look what you do. If you play your cards, that could be you.
You're moving your ways, speaking your truth.
Hey, speak it, lie. When I throw it back, it's back to the roots. When last you feel it's life away,
at last we find the remedy.
long time I miss it, but I made
And I chip in until the rum gone. I'm feeling her.
And we got drink for sun until sundown. I'm feeling her. I don't care if the rain come down.
Girls, I'm feeling her.
When I punch in, she see Brandy or some
Johnny Walker.
Some big up her drink cause he not the place.
Hear me out, bell. I got one and I get a wine while I drink it some. Cause energy got me feeling so high.
I'm feeling nice.
And I feel to wine.
The rhythm is a vibe.
I feel so alive.
I'm going out of my mind, but it feels alright.
We not living until the run down.
All right, good stuff. So that's what happened at Powder last weekend. A good time was had by all. So make sure you check it out online. I mean, there's a little bit of it everywhere. It really was a good time. And we're more than happy to have been a part of it through 98.1 FM and the 98.1 FM DJs. DJ Ras, of course, was one of the MCs along with the Hyperdrive team. So good stuff. Hey, we're bringing it back in the studio now as we continue to bring you the Friday vibe and get you ready for Cropover 2024. Orlando Hines is still here with us, Lando, and he's going to perform his second submission for Cropover 2024. Over to you.
CBC, what's the boo? This year I can run away. I just can't miss this one, no way. Not even my woman can stop me. I just can't miss Kaduma Day. Big celebration, 50 years of action. It's jubilation, Soca, Mass and Hudson. I just can't miss Kaduma Day. Jumping from the stadium all the way to Griner Highway. Don't you try to stop me, cause nobody can stop me, no way. Yeah, man, I'm gonna be jamming, 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 jamming. 50 years of whining, now I'm feeling nice. Once them bounces rolling, I'm in paradise. Yeah, man, I'm gonna be jamming, 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 jamming. Been planning this a long, long time. Just can't get it off my mind. All the girls in town going crazy, and then girls start flashing bodies. This generation, are you vibration? Get in the action, pure satisfaction. I just can't miss Kaduma Day. Jumping from the stadium all the way to Griner Highway. Don't you try to stop me, cause nobody can stop me, no way. I'm gonna be jamming, 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 jamming. 50 years of whining, now I'm feeling nice. What them MCs rolling, I'm in paradise. I'm gonna be jamming, 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 jamming. From 4 in the morning to Bridgetown Market, to Doomsday Day we will be moving. From 4 in the morning to Bridgetown Market, to Doomsday Day we will be moving. Move, move, groove, groove. 50 years of whining, now I'm feeling nice.
Right, yay. Definitely feeling nice. Loving it, Lando.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we look forward to seeing you at the tent. Coming up next weekend, they're going to be going the Shining Stars tent. Of course, hey, that's it for today's show. Before I look around, it's time to close out. But it's good to have you with us.
Thank you.
And, you know, it's wonderful that you decided to pay tribute to Richard as well. I know that you guys were very close, and we always, always remember Richard and his contribution. All right, so remember, we are in the festival. We're going to continue this weekend with the CBC Socoholics as well. Revelers assemble at Revelers Bar in Christchurch for the South Rum and Soca. A great combination. It's coming up Join the Hyperactive team. It's going to be live on 98.1 FM, 10 o'clock in the morning, and they go through until 2. Performances are also on the cards for that presentation. Our team is also in cricket mode. That's right. So we are headed to 6 Mix Bar at Worthing tonight. So make sure you check us out there. So 6 Mix Bar tonight, starting from 8:30 with DJ Ras. Then on Sunday, June 23rd, join us from Cricket Shots at Kings and Queens Bar in Bow Road, St. Michael, from 8:30. So come out for the cricket shots and, of course, stay for the fun. So tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, you can look out for our team all over the place. The Girl Guides Association, the Brownie Speech Finals competition is coming up tomorrow. And, of course, the Division of Culture, they're having Smooth Jazz at Colombo, which is the Emancipation Village. We're going to have so much more for you on Monday. So make sure you come back and join us. Have a safe and wonderful weekend. Thanks, Orlando.
Thank you.
And thanks to you. See you then. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.